This is the Abel components Nanny kill switch for, I believe, 13 to 18 rams. I'm not sure exactly what all it fits, but I bought it because whenever I'm in the mud, the ABS is kind of aggravating, but the stability control and the traction control kind of hinders you on some of the things you can do. I probably won't use it much, but when I do, I think it'll be, handy in those situations where it's trying to put the brakes on when it thinks the vehicle's skidding a little bit. Mainly what I got it for. Don't look like a too complicated install, and what I've read online seems to be a pretty neat little setup, so we'll try to get it installed here, give it a whirl. Alright, here's the inside of my fuse box. The instructions seem to be pretty good. Don't look overly complicated, but who knows, I'll probably screw it up. But from the best I can tell, it is to remove this fuse. Plug this thing back in here in its spot. Now this fuse says spire on it, and it calls for this to plug into this slot, which is, I think, 91. Yeah, F91. But first it calls to plug this 20 amp fuse in here under this other fuse. Yeah, like that. And then plug this in here. I'm assuming it's pulling power from that. And it's got some some sticky Velcro stuff here. We'll stick on. Maybe it'll stay there. It's kind of cold, so I don't know if it'll stick good or not. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It might stick there. Don't cause to drill a hole over here or cut a notch. There's a little notch there, but I don't think it's deep enough. I'll probably just drill a hole in it, seal it up. Hopefully it won't let any kind of dust in the fuse box, because the rest of this wire has got to be run through the firewall and to a toggle switch inside. So we'll drill this hole here real quick. Okay, found me a drill bit pretty close to the size of the wire. Didn't want too big of a hole. Let's see if we can drill this in here. That'll work. Dang. Harder than I thought to feed the wire through that. Okay. Finally. Now, I believe that's how this thing goes. So now all I got to do is find a spot to run this through the firewall and hook me up a toggle switch. try that out. Alright, so I got the wire coming out of the side of my fuse box. And looks like I've already ran a wire through that grommet down there. I think that was for my light bar. So I'll just run this wire through that same spot. See if I can find a spot to put my switch and somewhere to ground it. So I got this wire started through this grommet. I'd poked a little hole in it before, just for that fog light, the light bar wire. We'll go inside and get it. How well you can see that, but right here, come right through right here. I'll zip tie it up out of the way and put me a toggle on it. Came with a bunch of wire loom and a bunch of zip ties. I may use some of this under the hood, but I didn't run it through my grommet because I had just a little bitty tiny hole cut in it. I decided to skip the wire loom, just put some zip ties on it, but he does a really nice kit, sends the wrap stuff there, so it would probably look a lot better than mine, but I believe this will be okay. Okay, right there, just above the emergency brake pedal, there's a little hole already in that tube that goes across the dash, I guess you'd call it. And that's what I'm going to use for that ground screw, hopefully. So we'll see what that does. See if I can get it up in there anyway. Apparently that hole is just big enough for that screw. Hopefully it'll tighten up in there. I can get this mile-long bit up in there. Be doing good. Come on. That'll work. Let's test it out. Okay, well, truck started up. ABS and traction control light are on. Flip switch, they go off, so I guess that's a good sign. Let's go test it out. Alright, so we're out at the undisclosed test track location. aka my old driveway. We'll give it a go here in two-wheel drive with the Abel components Nanny kill switch turned off. So this will be like factory. See how this does. That was flat on the floor with the traction control, I guess, kicking in. So I'm gonna turn the switch on, which will kill the ABS and traction control and stability control, and see what it does now. Much better. No ABS kicking in either. Okay, now that that's done and tested out, probably time to mount my switch, because I don't think this is Abel Components recommended mounting location. I'll see if I can do better. I think I'm gonna make me a switch pod to go underneath here in this space, so I don't really use it for much. Put me some other toggles on here for light bar, fog lights, whatever.